Sunday night was not a mistake. It was exactly what the IDF and the Israeli government planned. They've been talking for weeks about a Rafah offensive. So when the ICJ told them not to attack Rafah, when the ICC called for arrest warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant, this was their response. It was the Israeli government telling the world leaders that they will not listen to them. Because of course they know that Biden and Sunak will continue to send them weapons. Biden and Sunak have made it totally clear that for them, Palestinian lives do not matter. The government ministers living across the road do not care about the 50 plus people who have been killed and the hundreds wounded in Rafah this week. They do not care about the man holding up the headless body of his child. They do not care about people burned to death in the tents. And they do not care that there are no hospitals able to save them and treat them, that they are starving because no aid is allowed in and food and clean water is scarce. All they care about are their friends in the city and the arms industry who make a profit out of death. But we have made it clear over the last few months that we care, that we put people before profit, and that we will continue to fight for an end to the bombing and an end to the occupation. And it's not just the politicians already in Downing Street and Parliament who need to hear us. It's all of them who want our votes on the 4th of July. They need to know, no ceasefire, no vote. No ceasefire, no vote. And in recent weeks, we've been so inspired by the students here in the US and around the world who have set up encampments and occupations at their colleges. They are absolutely right to do this. Unison sends its solidarity to all those who are protesting on the campuses for divestment, a ceasefire and justice. Encampments and occupations have played an important role in struggles against injustice around the world, for opposing the war in Vietnam, opposing apartheid in South Africa, and campaigning for justice for Palestinians. They have played a role in that. Almost 40 years ago, I was one of hundreds of students who occupied our college, the LSE, in opposition to their investment in companies profiting from apartheid South Africa. We occupied the college for over a week and we won. We forced them. We forced the college to divest from an apartheid system then, and the students today can make them do it again now. But I'm not here because of something 40 years ago. I'm here as a socialist and a trade unionist because it matters that trade unions stand by the oppressed. It matters that we stand on the right side of history. It matters that we stand for liberation. I'm proud that trade unions like Unison stand by the Palestinians, that we call for a permanent ceasefire and an end to the occupation. Because we can't say the same about the bosses or the politicians. They do not stand with the oppressed. They will continue to spend our money on arms war and occupation. And as a public sector worker, I have to say that every penny, every pound that they spend on death and destruction is a penny and a pound that could be spent on our hospitals, our schools, our public services, on international aid, the climate emergency, things that would make the world a better place. What we are doing today is important. We are fighting for justice for the Palestinians. Campus by campus, college by college, council by council, city by city, we will make them divest. We will make them hear the voices of Palestinians and we will stop the bloodshed. In the words of our students, disclose, divest. We will not stop, we will not rest. Disclose, divest.
We will not stop, we will not rest.
Disclose, divest.
We will not stop, we will not rest.
Solidarity to you all.
Thank you, Liz. And let's hear it for all the student encampments across London. All the student encampments across the country. though. And I'm going to introduce one to the stage now. A man who has always stood alongside the Palestinian people. The MP for Islington North, Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you all. Thank you for responding to the call. Responding to that call for decency, for humanity, for peace, and for saving lives of the most vulnerable people. Thank you all for being here tonight, coming at such very, very short notice. Of all the horrors and the atrocities we've seen over the last 6 months, the one of the bombing of a tented refugee camp, knowing full well those under those thin sheets of canvas had no protection whatsoever from American, British, French and German supplied bombs that took the lives of so many of those people. Those 45 that were killed immediately, and all the others that are dying from injuries, from starvation, from dehydration, from diarrhea, and all kinds of horrible contagious conditions, all of which could be prevented, all of which could be saved. And then we get these mealy-mouthed blatherings from all of the Western governments about the need to get aid into Gaza, the difficulties of getting aid into Gaza. Well, one of the difficulties of getting aid into Gaza is the Israeli army is bombing the aid when it goes in with weapons supplied by those very same countries that are then complaining about the difficulty of getting the aid in. They need to be told a thing or two, and very, very bluntly. They need to be told very, very bluntly, the vast majority of the nations of the world, an overwhelming majority of the General Assembly of the United Nations has recognized Palestine on its 67 borders. And for many years in Parliament we've been demanding it. Indeed, we even got a private member's bill through demanding the recognition of Palestine. They always say, now is not the time. Well, when is the time, if it's not now, to recognize Palestine and its right to exist? And instead of supporting the rights of Palestinian people and working alongside those very brave people in Israel who also demand the right of Palestine to exist and recognition of Palestine and an end of the occupation, instead they are attacking the brilliant camps being opened at universities all over Britain and the United States. Let's hear it for the students all over for their bravery and their determination in what they do. And then even trying to bring in legislation to attack the right to protest. But one good thing about the dissolution of Parliament tomorrow is that the anti-BDS bill has fallen. That's gone. And let's hope it never comes back. I just finished with this. In 1948, 700,000 Palestinian people were driven from their homes into Gaza, into neighbouring countries, and their descendants live in refugee camps all over the region, and the diaspora lives all over the world. Remember that figure, 700,000. There are now 900,000 Palestinians in Gaza who have been uprooted from their homes multiple times in the past 6 months, and they carry on being uprooted. They're told that to go to Rafah is a safe zone. They're told to go to Khan Yunis is a safe zone. They're told one lie after another, and still the bombs rain down on those desperate people looking for a place of safety. What is it of the Western nations that cannot halt the supply of arms to Israel? There's an ICJ ruling, there's an ICC ruling, there's a Geneva Convention ruling, there's a UN General Assembly ruling, there is even a majority on the Security Council for it. So in this fevered political time, ask the question of anyone who wants to hold public office. Are you going to be a voice to end the arms trade with Israel? Are you going to be a voice to stop the bombardment of Gaza? So that this massive movement that's come together all over the country and all over Europe, indeed all over the world, in support of the Palestinian people, makes that difference, but also makes that difference to be a voice for a different world, a world of peace, not a world dominated by the arms industry and the cynical calculations of military planners, but instead a world where we look for the needs and the hopes of the poorest people, the most desperate people, and we pass nobody by on the other side. Our watchword is peace, is justice, is unity, and an end to the arms trade. Thank you.
Please give a warm welcome for the People's Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! We need to send our message loud and clear to those sat in government right now. From the river to the sea! 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 Stop arming Israel! Stop bombing Gaza! 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 In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions!
Our next speaker is from an organisation bringing together British Jews who oppose Israel's apartheid regime. I can see that lovely banner over there, that lovely orange banner. She is from Namod. And her name is Emily Stevenson. Give it up for Emily.
Hello everyone. It's been hard to find the words to say. It's been hard to find the words to say anything actually over the last 8.5, 9 months. But it's been even harder to find the words to say after seeing what we saw, after seeing the ruined body of a child. It's been hard to know what to say. It's been hard to know how to articulate our feelings when it feels like we have been screaming into the void for 8.5 months. It is hard to know what to say when you write to your MP over and over and over again to get no reply, or worse, to be told that stopping arming Israel would be worse. And to that I say, what can be worse than this? What can be worse than seeing a charred corpse being dragged from the ruins of an UNRWA building? What can be worse than hearing a mother grieve over her child that was reduced to a handful of flesh? What can be worse than being told that this is being done for your safety, in your name? And every time you question your communal institutions, every time you tell them that this is wrong, that this goes against everything we have ever been told is true, every principle we have ever held dear as Jews and as Gentiles alike, to be told that you are a traitor, to be told that you are a liar, to be told that you are an idiot. Well, we're not. We're human beings, moved by the basic suffering of our fellow human beings. I make no claims to think a safe zone would ever be safe. My mother's family is from Srebrenica, so I know how dangerously the concept of a safe zone can be failed. I understand the looks on the faces of Palestinians who've had their entire families destroyed, because that is the look on the faces of my relatives. And I understand that a child doesn't cry in any specific language, that a Jewish child and a Palestinian child feel the same fear. And right now, those that are feeling the most fear, those that were screaming for help in tents that were being burned, those who wake up every day not knowing if it's their last day, are Palestinians. And that is why I stand here as a Jewish woman and say, enough is enough! Ceasefire now! Dismantle occupation! Dismantle apartheid! Free Palestine!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop bombing Israel!
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 I want everybody to face Downing Street and tell them, blood on your hands! 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 Stop arming Israel!
Stop bombing Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop bombing Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop bombing Israel! Stop bombing Israel!
What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
And when do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
And when do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire!
And when do we want it?
Now!
This demonstration was called only yesterday, and there are thousands of us blocking Whitehall right now. So I need you. We need every single one of us to use our voices, use our fists, wave our flags, and tell them, what do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? And when do we want it? What do we want? And when do we want it? Our next speaker is from the Stop the War Coalition, one of the co-organisers of these demonstrations. Please welcome convener Lindsay German.
Thanks very much, Shelley. And can I say what a magnificent crowd this is here tonight. This demonstration was only called yesterday, and there are thousands and thousands of people blocking the road, filling up the pavement, and hundreds joining us from the tube every minute. And that shows that we admire the resistance and the resilience of the Palestinian people, but we are also resisting, and we are also a resilient movement, and we are going to keep going until we win and until there's justice for the Palestinians. Now, that puts us in a very different place from the so-called leaders of the free world. What do we get from them? The bombing of Rafah. The bombing of Rafah, they meet by saying, Emmanuel Macron from France, what did he say? He's outraged by it. Just Joseph Borrell says it's horrific. Keir Starmer says it shouldn't be going ahead. But none of them do anything to stop it happening. And we have to keep saying again and again, Netanyahu is a genocidal maniac. His government is a genocidal government, but they could not do it without Biden, without Sunak, without all of those people. And therefore, we have an incredibly important job to do here, because we have to fight our government and the opposition. We have an election going on now. We have an election where we are supposed to be able to choose people who represent our policy. And neither of those parties represent the policy of ceasefire now and stop arming Israel. But that is what a majority of people in this country want. Only 8% think that Israel should carry on bombing. Only 8% think it's okay to set fire to refugees in tents. Only 8% think that. We are speaking for the majority, and we cannot get an invitation to Downing Street, but we can be outside Downing Street. In our millions, in our thousands, in our hundreds of thousands, and we will keep doing this. And let's say to these politicians, David Lammy in particular, David Lammy, who could be in 6 weeks' time, could be the foreign secretary in this country. What did he say last year? When Israel bombed a refugee camp, he said it could be legally justifiable. I've got news for David Lammy. It is never legally justifiable to kill civilians, to target them like they are doing in Rafah, and we will do everything to stop it. I've got another message for David Lammy. He said only last week the student occupations wouldn't have been supported by Nelson Mandela because Nelson Mandela believed in peace. Doesn't he know that Nelson Mandela was put in prison for 20 years for waging the armed struggle in support of the South African people and against the apartheid state? And he was called a terrorist. We stand with him and not with the people who put him in prison. So we are facing a big election. Palestine has to be on the ballot paper. Vote for Palestine. Vote to make sure that every politician in this country knows we are not going to let this drop. And they want to demoralise us. They want to frighten us by these bombings and these horrible acts that they're carrying out. Do not be deterred. Keep on the streets. Keep organising. Our next demonstration is on 8th of June. Be there, and let's make sure we turn that into the biggest one so far for the people of Rafah. But not just for the people of Rafah, for the people in this country. And let's kick out Sunak, the man who wants to send 18-year-olds into the army. That's his big idea. Let's kick him out, but let's make sure that Starmer knows exactly how we feel on this question. Keep fighting. Solidarity, everybody.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! End apartheid! Stop the genocide! Free Palestine! End apartheid! Stop the genocide! today. Tens of thousands of us here today because yesterday we saw that a father waved the corpse of his beheaded son. Because last week we saw a newborn baby desperately pulled out of his already dead mother. Because last month we saw a toddler carrying the remnants of his brother in a backpack. Today, all of us join with billions of people across the world to ask, what greater atrocity can be committed? What greater depravity can be reached? What greater injustice can be suffered by an entire people? The Israeli army now stand ready to invade Rafah, an area made up of only 25 square miles, the size of Heathrow Airport. An area that is currently home to 1.4 million people, making it the most densely populated place on this earth. As we face once more the horrifying evil of the Israeli military, we must heed with a renewed urgency the Palestinian call to organise in solidarity, to disrupt the production and the transport of weapons to Israel, to shut down the British war machine that arms Israeli genocide. We must gather our anguish, our pain and our rage. But most importantly, we must gather our hope. A hope that is born out of our certainty that there is no Western weapon. There is no apartheid law. There is no evacuation order that can ever defeat the spirit of the Palestinian people. A people who refuse to forget the Nakba, who refuse to give up, who refuse to lose hope, who refuse to stop fighting, who refuse to surrender their rights to self-determination, liberation and return. For 76 years, Israel has tried to separate the Palestinian people from their homeland. For 76 years, Israel has tried to shatter their unity. They could not in 1948. They could not in 1967. They could not in 2014. And they will not in 2024. Our task, especially over the coming days, is to never allow ourselves the luxury of feeling helpless. To never waver in our certainty that the Palestinian people will return. To never allow anyone to make us believe that there is nothing more we can do. In the darkest moments, we must remember that every empire falls. We must remember that the final push is always powered by international solidarity. We must remember the children whose last moments we have witnessed on our screens and know in our hearts that one day soon, one day in all of our lifetimes, their brothers and their sisters will love and learn and laugh and bring new life in their liberated homeland. Because Free Palestine isn't just a chant, it isn't just a slogan, it's a promise. Free, free! Free, free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! And in our thousands, in our millions! 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 And in our millions, in our billions! Said, hey, ho! had to go. I said, hey, ho. I said, hey, ho. I said, hey, ho. The occupations had to go. I said, hey, ho. I said, hey, ho. I said, hey, ho.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! We've got a question for Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Rishi Sunak, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Rishi Sunak, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
And Keir Starmer, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Keir Starmer, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
And David Cameron, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
David Cameron, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
And David Lammy, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
David Lammy, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Rishi Sunak, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
And Rishi Sunak, what do you say?
How many kids have you killed today?
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
In our thousands, in our millions!
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions!
We are all Palestinians!
In our thousands, in our millions!
We are all Palestinians!
And in our millions, in our billions!
We are all Palestinians!
In our millions, in our billions!
We are all Palestinians!
Free, free!
Palestine!
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 1. We are the people. 2. We won't be silent. 3. Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
We are the people! We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1.
We are the people! We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1.
We are the people!
2.
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1.
We are the people!
2.
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1.
We are the people!
2.
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
And what do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Ceasefire!
When do we want it? Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
And Rishi Sunak, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Rishi Sunak, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Rishi Sunak, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And Keir Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Keir Starmer, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And David Cameron, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And David Cameron, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And David Lammy, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And David Lammy, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
And Netanyahu, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Netanyahu, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
Netanyahu, you can't hide!
We charge you with genocide!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the
African. And he was a member of parliament in Nelson Mandela's ANC party. He's an anti-war activist. Give him a big warm welcome, Andrew Feinstein!
Thank you all for being here. Nobody will believe that this is a Tuesday night in London, because in our thousands we have come out tonight to honor the children. We have come out tonight to say no more slaughter. My own country, South Africa, had to go back to the International Court of Justice because Israel hadn't followed one directive when the court determined that it was likely committing genocide in Gaza. So we went back to the court, and the court told Israel to get out of Rafah. And the war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, 2 days later, started the slaughter of innocent children in Rafah. Rishi Sunak, David Cameron, my own MP, Keir Starmer, and David Lammy will follow Netanyahu to The Hague. They have to not just call for a ceasefire now, they have to halt all arms sales to Israel. And if Israel continues to kill, it has to be expelled from the United Nations. And as long as the resident of 10 Downing Street, and it makes no difference whether it is Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer, whoever lives in 10 Downing Street, if they do not call for Israel's expulsion from the US, then we will march them to The Hague. Don't believe for 1 minute that they are doing nothing.
We're getting some first aid over there, thank you.
Thank you. There is first aid going to the person there. It does not matter whether Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer is the resident of 10 Downing Street, because neither of them will halt arms sales to Israel. So our responsibility, those of us who care for Gaza, those of us who care for Palestine, our responsibility is to ensure not just ourselves, but our families, our friends, our neighbors do not give one vote to anyone who is enabling and profiting from the slaughter in Gaza. And let us in this struggle to free Palestine, let us never forget the words of my former boss Nelson Mandela, who on his release from prison said, "Our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinian people.
Thank you, Andrew. Stop arming Israel.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop killing children.
Stop killing children.
Stop bombing hospitals.
Stop bombing hospitals.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop killing children.
Stop killing children.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop arming Israel.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Stop bombing Rafah.
Now atrocity. We know that the International Court of Justice warned Israel not to attack Rafah, that it risked committing genocide, and Israel's response to murder more men, women and children, to burn them alive, bombing a refugee camp of people on the brink of famine who are desperately trying to stay alive. This is totally barbaric, and every world leader should be condemning what Israel has done. The British government and the so-called official opposition are complicit in Israel's genocide. They have repeatedly defended Israel's actions. They've been silent on a ceasefire, and they still refuse to stop arms sales to Israel. And as the only nuclear power in the Middle East, Israel's genocidal actions are always backed by the threat of a nuclear strike against any country in the region that defends Palestine. And instead of trying to end the slaughter, both the US and the UK have been helping Israel. This genocidal... They've been helping this genocidal nuclear-armed state to try and draw Iran into military confrontation. But more and more countries are halting arms sales and refunding UNRWA. And they are recognising the state of Palestine. Boycotts and student divestment campaigns are winning. And we've defeated the anti-boycott bill in Parliament. So, for every single Palestinian, we must keep up the pressure. We can never stop, just like the millions all across the world are doing now. So ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Thank you, Sophie! Now I heard Sophie talking about the boycott bill. Who here boycotts? Who here demands sanctions? And who wants to see divestment from Israel? Those are our tools, our everyday tools for justice. So when I say, how do you spell justice? I want you to say BDS. How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
How do you spell justice?
BDS.
Yes, yes, BDS. Yes, yes.
BDS.
Yes, yes.
BDS.
Yes, yes.
BDS.
Yes, yes.
BDS.
Yes, yes. BDS. You got it. Now, if there's any organisation that taught me how to boycott, it was the Friends of Al-Aqsa campaign. So I'm very proud to welcome to the stage now, on behalf of the Friends of Al-Aqsa, Saada Badat. brothers, sisters, friends, I stand here today in front of you with a heavy heart. The images that we have seen coming out of Rafah in the past 48 hours have been nothing short of horrifying. What we are witnessing is terror beyond our wildest imaginations. There are no safe zones in Gaza, and there were never any safe zones in Gaza. Israel has shown us time and time again that they have no plans in stopping their genocide on Gaza, ignoring both the UN and the ICJ. For 76 years, Israel have been allowed to wage their continuous war crimes without a shred of accountability. And standing right behind them every step of the way, as they have done for over a century, is our government. Our shameless and warmongering government, who remain responsible for almost all the disasters we have witnessed across the Middle East. Our government has the blood of thousands of Palestinians on their hands, and let this be a message to them. At the general election in July, just know that we will never forgive nor forget the role that they have played in this genocide. How many more times will we have to hold emergency rallies to force our government to take action? Last October, we stood here at another emergency rally following the horrifying attack on Jabalia, which killed 400 Palestinians, and we called on our government to take action. And yet here we are, almost 8 months on, countless demonstrations later, at yet another emergency rally, with the total fatalities now at 40,000, and the number of casualties rising exponentially. The indiscriminate bombing of a civilian population wasn't enough for this government to take action. The killing of over 15,000 children wasn't enough for this government to take action. The killing of British aid workers wasn't enough for this government to take action. And now this horrific attack on Rafah, in which children were beheaded and burned alive, is still not enough for our murderous government to take action. Now is not the time for meaningless gestures and insubstantial condemnations. We need to see immediate action from the people that we have elected in. We need to see an immediate end to the arms sales to Israel. And we need sanctions to be placed on Israel immediately. Let it be known that we will always stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine in their fight for liberation against apartheid and imperialism. And we will continue to fly our flags high and proud. We will not be stopped in our solidarity until there is an end to the bombardment on Gaza, an end to the illegal occupation, an end to the ethnic cleansing, and an end to the apartheid.
our solidarity, with just 24 hours notice, we have shut down Whitehall today. I need every single one of you out here again on Saturday the 8th of June at the next national demonstration. Bring your friends, your families, your neighbours, and let us shut London down once again as we march once again to demand a ceasefire and an end to the arms sales. Let us be clear in our message. When I say stop bombing Gaza, you say stop arming Israel. Stop bombing Gaza!
Stop bombing Israel!
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 And when I say something, you say shut it down. The occupation! The border wall! The siege on Gaza! The whole damn system! The occupation! The border wall! The siege on Gaza! The whole damn system! The whole damn system! The whole damn system! Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah! And did you hear her? Are you going to be on the streets again on the 8th of June? And are you going to be bringing your friends, your family, your neighbours, your colleagues, your pets? I want you to be spreading the word from now. Get everyone you know out on the streets, marching on the 8th of June. Let's make it the biggest one yet, because this is beyond an emergency. And while I'm on the topic of organising big demonstrations, calling a rally, especially at short notice like this, costs a lot of money to the organisations that organise it. The staging, the sound system, all of that stuff, we need a little bit of help. So at the end of this rally, there's going to be some lovely people in their yellow tabards. They're going to have buckets. And if you can spare a little bit of change, it's a big, big help. A little goes a long way, so give it up for them, and please donate what you can. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is from another of the partner organisations that called tonight's rally, the Muslim Association of Britain. Please welcome Abu Anas.
Peace be on you all. The Israeli warplanes have once again unleashed unimaginable horror upon the displaced Palestinian families in Rafah and surroundings. In what should have been the place of refuge, dozens of families have been burned alive in those tents. These are people who are forced to leave their homes, who are forced to leave to what's called a designated safe area to face the end of their lives in this horrible attack. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are being faced with a genocide and ethnic cleansing as we see that every single day. The world is being silent and complicit about it. What is there left to say? What atrocities are left to commit? What excuses are left to make? What humanity is left to betray? These families were evacuated, and now this has happened to them. Netanyahu and those like him follow a path of displacement, ethnic cleansing and genocidal violence. And yet The response from our politicians here in 10 Downing Street and what's so-called the opposition is nothing but trying to criminalize us, to criminalize people who peacefully demonstrate in the streets. We will continue to demonstrate. We will continue to protest. We can never be silenced by you. Brothers and sisters, where Palestinian babies are truly beheaded by the airstrikes and the families are burnt alive, to be absolutely clear, calling for a ceasefire in response to the horrific scenes that we see in Gaza is not enough. We must demand complete freedom of Palestinian people. We must demand complete freedom of Palestinian people. We must demand dismantlement of Zionism. We must demand eradication of Zionism that has led to decades of terror and bloodshed. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free, free.
Palestine.
Thank you.
One, we are the people. Two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing
now, 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 now. One,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing
now, 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 now. One,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing
now, 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 now. One,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing
now, now, now. Now when I say one, I want everyone on this side to repeat the next bit. Then it's two, then it's three. This might not work, but let's give it a go. One,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two, three.
Stop the bombing.
Everyone together now. One,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three,
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
one,
We are the people.
two,
We won't be silent.
three.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide.
End apartheid.
End apartheid.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide.
End apartheid.
End apartheid.
Free, free, free Palestine.
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 1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terror state.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terror state.
Now, do you remember back in October when they tried to ban us marching? When they sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will live forever.
And from the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Make some noise, you have shut down Whitehall tonight. And when is the next national demonstration? When is the next national demonstration? And are you going to be there? We're going to take over the streets again. Okay, our final speaker tonight is from an organisation that for many years has opposed Israel's apartheid system, has opposed genocide in Gaza. Please give a big warm welcome to the director of War on One, Assad Rahman.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters, brothers, friends, comrades. Yet again, we are all standing here, our hearts breaking, unable to process the harrowing images of children burnt to death, of parents screaming as they carry babies who have been decapitated, of limbs strewn across the ground amongst the charred remains of yet more civilians, to add to the already horrific death toll, of badly injured survivors rushed to barely functioning hospitals, and the words of Palestinians ringing in our ears. If today I wasn't killed, it will probably be tomorrow. And comprehend the utterly reprehensible response of not just the Israeli government, but of our own leaders, that this was a tragic mistake. A tragic mistake. How many tragic mistakes? A tragic mistake to bomb an aid convoy and kill aid workers, including British citizens. A tragic mistake to shoot unarmed civilians. A tragic mistake to shoot dead 15,000 children. A tragic mistake to bomb hospitals. A tragic mistake to starve a whole population for 8 months. 8 months, massacre after massacre. No one in their right minds believes these excuses anymore. There are no red lines that Israel can't cross and hasn't crossed. And just last week, I'm sure all of you, we hoped, there was a glimmer of hope when we saw the International Criminal Court, the body that the UK helped set up to ensure that no one could commit war crimes with impunity, that no one would be above the law, requested arrest warrants for the Israeli Prime Minister and the Defense Minister for war crimes and crimes against humanity. And what was the response of our government? Upholding international law is unhelpful, they said. Then 3 days ago, the world's highest court, the International Court of Justice, issued a binding call on Israel to stop its attack on Rafah, to end its illegal blockade of humanitarian aid, and stop blocking human rights investigators from investigating their crimes as part of the ongoing case of genocide against them. The response of the UK government can be summed up as, we don't care, they're breaching international law and our own guidelines that the UK cannot be complicit in such crimes. We will continue to arm Israel. We will continue to sign trade deals with Israel, and we will continue to refuse to call for an immediate ceasefire. We can all see their hypocrisy. We condemn some countries for these crimes, but never Israel. We have double standards because in the eyes of our government, Palestinian lives simply don't matter as much as other lives. And even now, as we stand here, Israeli tanks and drones are attacking Rafah again. Dozens of people have been murdered in these refugee camps because, as an Israeli official said, there is no power on earth that can stop us. You know what? They've never been so wrong, because there is a power. It's the power of people of conscience. It's the power of all of us. It's our power that will stop them. Our power that has brought down dictatorships. Our collective power that has ended colonialism. Our power that helped bring down South African apartheid. And it's our power that will end Israeli apartheid and occupation. And I want to just remind us, we all remember those words that Martin Luther King said, that the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice. It never just bends towards justice. We bend it towards justice, and that is what we are doing. And we're doing it in every corner of this country, on every campus, and every workplace, and in every town and city. We do it when we march. We do it when we call and raise the call for boycott, divestments and sanctions. Because whilst they can count on politicians to be complicit, we know enough is enough. That we will end this moral stain. That we speak on behalf of all humanity. And so no matter how many politicians they have to whitewash their crimes, how much the media whitewashes their crimes, we know the truth is out there, that millions of ordinary people are seeing the reality of Israel and Israel's brutal occupation. I'm going to end by just saying and reminding us all one thing. I know many of us are weary. We're weary that every week we are out on the streets. Every few weeks we're marching in our hundreds of thousands. But for 76 years, the Palestinians have faced a never-ending Nakba of settler colonialism, of racism and apartheid and occupation. And the Palestinian people have shown the world one thing, what it means to be steadfast. And it's because they, like all indigenous people all over the world, are rooted to their land and will never be erased. So on June the 8th of the national demonstration, let's show our leaders how steadfast we are, that we will not rest, that we will not stop until Palestine is free. Thank you.
Thank you, Assad! Now we came to Downing Street tonight because that is where the seat of power is. That is where the man who has the power to stop arming Israel lives. So while there's no speeches anymore, I want us all to look that way, because that is where we are directing our anger tonight. I want us to look that way as we chant, stop arming Israel!
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 Face the Prime Minister! Face him! Let's all face the Prime Minister and tell him, stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop arming Israel!
Stop bombing Gaza!
Stop bombing Gaza!
Stop bombing Gaza!
Stop bombing Gaza!
Stop bombing children!
Stop bombing children!
Hands off Rafah!
Hands off Rafah!
Hands off Rafah!
Hands off Rafah!
All ceasefire! No ceasefire! No ceasefire! Free, free Palestine!
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 Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thousands of you on the streets. I have just one message. Just one message. As you leave, take care, get home safely, and see you again on the 8th of June. Thank you so much, everybody. Please donate if you can and get home safely.
We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now. We are the people. We won't be silent. Stop the bombing now, 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 now.
Thank you. Right, stop making noise. Cheers.
Palestine will be free. Palestine. 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 I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
Viva Palestina! Viva Palestina! Viva Palestina! Shame on you! 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 United! Yeah!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Palestine,
Hopefully that way, I'm being told that they're going to speak to them, that's the one.